Yes, everybody okay?
Yes.
Yay! We are great.
Good. Yes, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, so today we are doing something really amazing, the first of its kind in this series that we're having right now. See, today we have an amazing guest, and she's going to fill us with so much knowledge. So, and also we have the usual crew, my fellow co-host, and we have Hala and Carla here. I will introduce our guest very soon. So before then, let me just introduce Hala. Hala, over to you.
Yes. Thanks, Victor. So I'm Haula, the host of the podcast, Women with Stories podcast, where I share stories about real women who rose above different challenges. Over to you, Carla.
Oh, you're mute.
Yeah. There's always one. Carla, and I'm the host of the Wonder and Wellbeing podcast, which is a podcast about education and wellbeing. Back to you, Victor.
All right. Thank you very much. And also, as you know, I'm Victor Seo. I'm the host of the Diaspora Entrepreneurs podcast, where we have conversations with individuals or business people who have moved from the core 9 to 5 towards living the lifestyle of freedom. Yes, that is me. And today we have, drum roll, we have our amazing guest. See, she's an overachiever. Do you want to do the honors yourself? Or
of course. I would love that.
Okay. Go ahead. Just do us the honors.
Thank you.
Yeah, we have Anum Hayat. Anum, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much. So I am the executive and business coach for mothers, and I have dedicated my life. I've literally dedicated every single day of my life to help moms discover that they can have it all. Because I have been in their shoes. I'm still in their shoes. I'm a mother of 4 kids under 6, so I'm still in their shoes. So what I've experienced is that once we have kids, it's almost like we have to make a choice that whether we want to really go after our dreams or career, or we want to be a great mother, who can spend time with the kids. And I've spoken to lots of my colleagues in the corporate world and also other people. Even I had this conversation with my husband once, and he said to me that, we have to prioritize. One person has to go and just, be the earner, like the key earner in the family, and the one person has to take a backseat. And I thought, what if there's a different way? What if I can have it all? What if I can always be there for my kids? I can go out with them. If they want me, I can just, take a time off and just be there with them, and I can have a smashing career. And I told my husband that I'm telling you, one day I'll find the answer. And the day I find the answer, I share it with the world. And he was like, okay, best of luck. And I did find the answer, because whatever you search for, you do find. And now all I want to do is teach it to every single mom, whoever wants to have it all, whoever has these dreams. I am the living proof that you can have it all. I have 4 kids under 6, so I'm extremely busy, but I run a thriving business. And it's just incredible that with a shift in your perception and beliefs, how much you can achieve in life. And I want to spread this light everywhere.
Wow. You are welcome to the show. That is more than a great, that is just, the introduction is just too much. And you've done so much justice to it. And we have mothers here and aspiring mothers as well. So you're in the right place. And I'm a father as well, father of 3. So no one is on the 6 anymore, but they're all they're going away. Their foot is on the door now to go out. Yeah. So Hala, Anum, she's a diaspora. She's from Pakistan, and also just Anum, tell us a little bit about your background.
Okay, so I belong to a very lower middle class family in Pakistan. We had really limited money, and almost to the point where my family decided that being a girl, being a woman, I shouldn't be sent to school because they don't have enough money to accommodate my education. But I always had this dream. I always wanted, I always knew deep down that I can have more. I can, I can get the knowledge I want. I can get the life I'm really desiring. And I had this burning desire. I didn't let it fade. And that's when I got the scholarship for one of the great schools in my city. And before I knew it, I also landed the scholarship for one of the top universities in Pakistan. It was super expensive, same prices like London. And there was no way in my dreams I could imagine that my parents could afford that kind of money, nor could I. But I got this scholarship, I got the living expenses, even they paid for my books and every single thing. So I'm the living proof that if you have a desire, it will happen. Okay, so don't let it go, don't let it fade. And sometimes it happens that our external circumstances show us that it is not possible, right? But don't listen to that. They are just an illusion. Our circumstances are trying to fool us. And I'm the living proof, because once you do that, once you start believing in your desire more, that's when things start to change. And then when I went into university, I always had this dream that I wanted to, because, when you get to one step, you want to go to the next. Like, we are constantly seeking more and more and more. So I wanted to work in corporate London. And at that time, I thought that was the thing, I just want to get there. Like, this is my ultimate thing. And coming from Pakistan, we are not sponsored in UK. We don't, government discourages, getting external people, because there's already people looking for job in London. So it was literally impossible for any company to sponsor me. Why would they sponsor a fresh graduate? How many fresh graduates are in London, right? So then but because I held on to that desire, the events kept unfolding. So I got an internship in Poland. I worked there for a few months, and then the director of the same company told me that there is a job opening in UK and they really want me to go there, without interview, without anything. They were actually, in fact, convincing me to go. And I was like, oh my God, I was shocked. I was blown away. And he thought that I don't want to go. That's why I'm so shocked. But I was thinking, oh my God, how is it possible, right? And that was a FTSE 100 company in London. It's a British company, Reckitt Benckiser. They have more than 200 products worldwide. And then I had this desire that I want to be a senior manager. So I applied for a job which was 2 positions up than the job I was working with. And in the interview, they said, you have got it, but I wasn't happy with the salary they were giving me, because I got better offers. And literally within an hour, they moved me to 3 positions up to a senior manager in British Telecom. And I was blown away again. But it is just showing that, that when you believe in something, when you believe in yourself, one of the things I realized is that focus on what you want instead of focusing on why it can't happen. Literally, it's that shift in mindset that makes things happen. Like, you have to just take one step and just focus all your attention on what you want, because all the external circumstances and results will always tell you it is not possible. But if you have a desire, it is possible. So in Science of Getting Rich, Wallace D. Wallace says that if you have a desire, the desire is the possibility seeking expression. So that means it is possible for you, and it is looking for expression. So your desire is the proof that it is possible for you. So you don't need any other proof in the external world. Just if you have the desire, it's done. It's just, it will need some time to come in the physical.
Anum,
That's it.
let me just, Hala or Carla, do you have any questions to?
Yes, actually listening to her, she radiates an ambitious energy. So I want to ask her, how was your childhood look like?
So my child, oh my God, I had, that's a really good question, by the way. I had a very traumatic childhood. So because of, there are a lot, like in Pakistan, there is a lot of issues of domestic violence, right? So my father's side of the family never accepted me as their grandchild. And that's why there was a lot of pressure on my father not to love me, not to give me that love. And whenever he tried, there was a huge fight in our house. So eventually my father gave up, and he started to keep me at a distance. And he was not and I could understand, because he had a lot of pressure from his family. So as a child, I got to literally that point where I lost my mind. my mom thought that I'm just gone. I need like therapy. I need like I've lost, like, when you become like when you're just like disabled, mentally disabled, she thought that she needs to get me into some, emergency. And that's literally, there was a moment in that time where I thought that if I have such bad situation in my life, I should be desiring more to get out of it, right? Because if somebody has a great situation, they will be like, okay, yeah, I would like to do better, but it's fine. But if you are in hell, you want to get out of it more
Yes.
eagerly, right? So I was so focused on achieving what I want. And the funny thing is, like, to be honest, I have done so much inner work that I love everybody. Like, I have no, like, problems with anybody now. Like, I have such great relationship with all sides of my family and everybody, because you forgive other people, not for them, but for yourself, because you want to move on with positive vibration. But I, like, literally all these people are now proud of me, including my father. He's so proud of me. So it's shocking, but again, focusing on what you want. Don't let anything distract you in the world that, which can slow you down. And what happened was that my scars become my power, become my superpower. So the more difficult time I had, the more I had burning desire to, go further. So literally, instead of weakening me or pulling me down, I was taking bold steps and just, shining my light. So it is such a powerful lesson for me that always focus on what you want. Don't let anything slow you down.
Carla, want you to come in.
Yeah, I love that. I love what she said about, just your scars and everything, and how you turn your hardships into your strengths. I really love that, because I believe the same. I just wonder what it looks like practically, though. My brain's ticking over, and I'm thinking, because I was a teacher for 15 years, so when you said 4 kids onto 6, I'm like, I know what that looks like. So yeah, I wonder how you make it all happen practically. I think that's where I'm the most curious, really.
So what I've learned is that we all have got 24 hours in a day, right? The key we need to do is we need to understand that we need to be really organized with our time, right? So I was, and the key thing is mindset, which I'm going to cover, in a lot of detail. But the key thing is that you need to know that you are spending time with your kids, and then the other time you're spending, on your business and the other things you want to do. So you have a balance, right? Because one of the things which I struggled with and I really learned, and which massively helped me, was that when I was spending time with kids, I would feel a bit guilty that, oh, look, I'm not working on my business. And when I was working on my business, I would feel that, oh, look, kids needs my time. So what I started doing was I started being really, really organized, that, okay, this is the time for kids. I will be present. I will be 100% present in that time. I will not think about work. I'll not think about anything. I'll really enjoy it. I'll deeply, and to be honest, that was almost like a entertainment for me, because I get freshen up, I feel happy, right? And then the other time when I'm in my business, I have got activities planned for them, and then I get support from my husband, and really, I do those kind of things. So I create a lot of art and craft activities which they get busy in, and I do my work on the side. Because one of the things I realized is that I thought that having kids stops you from being effective, right? And I had this belief for years and years. But one day, a lady came to our house. She was my friend, and she said to me that, oh, you have got kids. That's why you're so effective in your business. That's why you have got such good results in my business. And I thought that I have exact opposite belief, that kids make you inefficient, and you're telling me that the kids are making me efficient. And she said, because I don't have kids, and I'm single right now, so I have no motivation, I have no burning desire, and your kids are your burning desire. And I thought, wow, so at the end of the day, it's just a matter of belief, what you believe in, right? Whether you believe that kids are your superpower, and then you can do accordingly, or you can believe that kids will slow you down. But whatever you believe in will create your reality. So why not believe in what you want? Believe on what results you want to achieve. So once I changed my belief that my kids are my superpower, I saw amazing results in my business. I'm happy. I get 8 hours sleep every night. I don't compromise on anything. It's just about what you believe, and then things work out accordingly.
When you said something very interesting just now, when you had, I would say intervention, but let's not call it intervention, but when your friend came and like opened your eyes to another reality, you were like, okay, this is the opposite of what I'm actually doing. So when you started becoming efficient, what were the things you started to do in your business?
So one of the things which has massively helped me, and I have learned it from my mentor, is that before going to sleep every night, make a list of 6 goal achieving activities. That doesn't mean, oh, I'll wash the clothes or I'll fold the laundry, not those kind of things, but the goal achieving activities you want to do next day. Okay. Because the biggest thing is when we wake up the next day, we're like, oh, what am I supposed to do? And we spend so much time thinking, what am I supposed to do? So if you've got 6 things already planned the night before and you've got the list, then start your day by doing after your morning routine is extremely important. It gives you high energy in the right gear. But after you've done that, start first thing. Don't think about the next 5 things. Just focus on one thing. And once it's done, then forget about it. Okay, do a great job and then forget about it. And then focus on the second thing. Don't think about the first thing. Don't think about the third thing. Focus on what you're doing then. And then like that, constantly move on. And if you, for example, if you cannot do the 6th thing because, it wasn't possible, then add that thing to the next day's list. But don't make 7, just make 6, but add 5 more things for the next day. So once you have the list, before you add, the night before, you're very efficient. You just move into action and you exactly know what you need to do. So procrastination, all those things don't happen, and you have a really, really productive day. So this is one thing I did. The second thing is morning routine is extremely important. So once I get up, I visualize, which is so important, because what happens is that you are controlled by your subconscious mind, which controls all the actions you do. 98% we are working on autopilot, and that is controlled by our subconscious mind, our programming, our beliefs, right? So once you get up, see yourself already having achieved your goal. Visualize yourself that you have got your goal in your hand. Right. And once you do that, your mind's job is to take you there. Now it's not your job, it's your mind's job. And our mind is so powerful. Like body is just following our mind. So we will literally automatically follow where our mind is taking. So our mind will be switched on. It will be focusing on the opportunities. It will be focusing on how you can instead of why you can't. So if visualizing yourself already there is super important, because if you feel that, oh my God, I'm not so productive, I'm not doing good, then actually you're telling your mind you're not good. So whatever you're feeling throughout the day, you are telling your mind, this is my truth. So change their feelings, change the way you see yourself, and really tell your mind that, oh, I am so productive, I can do this. And visualize that, because when you're visualizing, your mind doesn't know the difference between real and what is imagined. So for your mind, you're already there. So it has to take you. Otherwise, there's a discrepancy in the system and it cannot take it. It cannot take the contradiction. It has to take you there. Yeah. So you're automatically going there.
Yeah, it makes sense. But it's so simple. The consistency is another thing. What do you think, guys? The consistency is another thing.
So one of the things what I have realized is that whatever belief you hold about yourself, okay, that's what you're going to do. So when it comes to being consistent, being productive, all those things, we are perfect. We are created in the image of perfection. Now, where do we have flaws? The flaws we have got is because we see ourselves differently. So the kind of image we hold about ourselves is different, right? So we don't have to change ourselves. We don't have to change anything. We don't have to go and get a degree. We don't have to do anything. We just have to change the way we see ourselves. How easy is that? Change the way you look at yourself, okay? So tell yourself every day, use auto-suggestion or affirmation and tell yourself, I am so consistent. If you feel that you're consistent, if you believe you're consistent, after a few weeks, you'll see you start to be consistent. The reason that people struggle with being consistent is because they think they're not consistent. So they believe they're not consistent, and the mind has to be loyal to your beliefs. Whatever you believe, mind will say, here you go, boss, I'll do it for you. If you believe I'm a failure, mind will say, here you go. This is the failure outcome you wanted. So whatever we believe in ourselves, whatever we think about ourselves, that's what we create. So just change the way you look at yourself. Because the way it works is that growing up, we got a report card, right? Some of us got C's, some of us got D's, right? What happened with the way we changed, the way we saw ourselves was defined by our grades. Then somebody told us, oh, you're not good enough. You cannot do that. The way we saw ourselves changed. We were never like that, right? But it changed. Then somebody told us that, oh, you are not confident. We started believing we are not confident. And that shows in our behavior. So if you want to change anything, don't force yourself. Don't say, okay, tomorrow I'm going to beat myself up. And if I don't do this, then I will, and then start regretting. Because if you constantly have negative feelings, you're taking yourself backwards. Just reaffirm, keep telling yourself that I'm very confident. And this is the way you will change the way you see yourself. And your actions will change.
Wow, that's so powerful.
I think it's about trusting the process too, the process of being there. Because sometimes you just imagine the final result. You need also to imagine the process to get to that final result. I want to ask a question about who's the person that pushed you through your worst times? Because sometimes we can get a lot of negative thoughts.
Carla, that's a very good one. So, sometimes the consistency thing, we get like, we're not seeing results. The process is not actually as fast as we want, so we just want to like slack off.
So the biggest thing is that our imagination is our biggest tool. Okay, if you keep imagining something, eventually your mind will accept that idea, and then even when the failure comes or the shortbacks come, your mind will push you, because at the end of the day, you are the person who is controlling you, right? Nobody else can really, if nobody else can really make you do something, it is us eventually. So the more you use your imagination and think of the end result, the more your mind will accept it as a fact. And then nobody will need to push you. You will be, even like, think of this example, like when Wright brothers were invented aeroplane, right? They had so many issues. Like, first of all, they couldn't find the right engine which was light enough to go in the air. Okay, but one of the tools they use, which is the most powerful use, I believe, in your business, in your life, in your relationship, is their imagination. They saw that the airplane is flying in their imagination, so for them that is their reality. Okay, now if things don't turn out the right way, it doesn't change, it didn't demotivate them, because they knew that the plane is going to fly. Why? Because they saw it in their mind over and over again. And once the subconscious mind accepts that idea, that's it. It is done. Like, it will move you in action no matter what. No matter how much failure or how many challenges you have on the way, it will move you in action. So the point is to use your imagination, really live there, really see yourself achieving that goal. And it is meant to happen. Like, nobody outside can motivate you unless your mind is buying into that. The problem is that we are constantly trying to change things outside without tapping into our biggest tool. That is our imagination. Like, once you start imagining it in your mind, it has become your reality. The mind has accepted that fact, and that fact has to turn into the end result. So just focus on really visualizing yourself there. Even throughout the day, feel like you're already there. Like, for me, my personal experience, my end goal is almost like my past memory, because I live there so much that it's as true for me as something that happened in the past. So if you tell me that, oh, it's not going to happen, I'll say, oh, but I have been there. It's almost like, yesterday, if you ask me, did those things happen? Yeah, I had yesterday, right? So for me, my end goal is like yesterday, because I live there so much that it's almost like my past. So I cannot deny it for myself. That is the power of imagination, that it becomes so strong in your mind that even somebody tries to convince you, no matter what facts people bring, you're like, no, I'm there. It's done.
Wow. That's so powerful. Which is like the story we tell ourselves to convince us to like move to the next, to take the next step, or to take one more step, just one more step. Which is powerful. You see, You are in London, right? You are in London right now. You are in. People talk about FTSE 500, but you are a FTSE 100 company in the city of, in the service capital of the world. And why did you change? What happened?
So what happened was that I started to feel that I was constantly looking for weekends. I used to hate Sundays. On Monday, I'd be like, I'm not really, I'm not motivated to go into work. And then, of course, it's a very difficult decision too, because, it was not even just FTSE 100, but it was the top 3 companies as far as their revenues go, like British Telecom. It's a huge company in UK. But when I did the passion test, I realized that I am not living my passion at all. I'm not following what I absolutely love. And because of that, I'm not tapping into what is my real thing, right? And once I came out of it, because when you are in that corporate cycle, that rut, you don't realize what is out in the world. You don't realize how beautiful is the world. You're just stuck in a cycle. Go to work, you come back, you're shattered. All you want to do is sleep. You don't want to talk to anybody. And I thought, this is not the kind of life I want. What will happen after 10 years? What will happen after 20 years? Like, I saw people in British Telecom who spent 40, 50 years. They had few promotions, but they were not really making the kind of income. They were not really, like maximizing their potential. And then they were retiring. And it was sad. I was like, I don't want to see myself like that. I want to really tap into my power. I want to really do what I absolutely love. And since I have started following my passions, I don't remember the last time I worked. Because for me, when somebody says, how is your work going? I think, what work you're talking about? I don't work. I'm just enjoying. I'm just having fun. And I'm earning really good income, as a result of having fun. So after I left, I questioned that why people don't follow their passion. And according to the data, according to Gallup, 85% people in this whole world who are working do not follow their passion. They're not engaged, they're not motivated, they're working and stuck at the wrong jobs. 85%. And I really got into like, what is the problem? The problem is that in our schools, there is no focus on what is it that we love. They don't talk about that. They don't talk about our follow, what subjects you want to take. And even if they have like some services, it's not enough. And after graduating, kids are so worried about just getting a job. Like, I just need a job, because there is job crisis, there are less jobs, and everybody's looking for like just to settle down. And once we settle down, we have mortgage, we have bills, and then that's it, we are stuck. So our systems don't support it. Like, our system don't support in asking kids, what is it that you would like to do? What do you want to do? And Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich says that there should be a system when before taking degree, you should know what you want to do with that degree. Not that you collect all sort of information in your mind, and your mind is like full of things, but you have no idea what you want to do with it. It's like wasting it, right?
And the circle just keep going. There's this funny question that I always wanted to ask is, when people quit their job, I just want to know the style. How did you do? Some people do backflips, some people bring the karaoke, some people bring the band, and they hand in their resignation letter, blow some trumpet, or bring karaoke with themselves, and that's how they give out their notice. How did you quit? Was it
so? I strongly believe that before quitting, like, make sure that your side hustle, whatever you're doing, is bringing some income, not that, you just run out of money and you have no backup. So one of the things what happened to me was, it was a very fortunate thing that BT offered me a promotion, and I didn't take it because this pay rise they were offering as a result of that promotion. I was like, you want me to kill myself doing so much work and you're going to pay me this much more? No way. I'm not doing that. Because I started to see, that, oh my God, people do it. People take promotions so happily, right? So they gave me this other option that I can resign and they will give me redundancy salary. So 1 year salary as a result of resigning. So I had this backup that, okay, I will have that salary to start my own thing, and I'll have some backup and buffer by the time it starts running. So it worked out really fine. And I started to I started to like really invest in myself. I started to see, like, I took lots and lots and lots of programs to really discover what I loved and how to tap into the power of our mind. And oh my God, like, I thought that all this time when I was in corporate, I was stuck in a box and I didn't know I was in a box. Like, it's literally like the world out there has unlimited potential. There is so much money, so much abundance, so much opportunities, so much empowerment. And I literally, it was like a curtain in front of my eyes, which just lifted up. So it's so beautiful. But the problem is that once you're in corporate, you are so tired at the end of the day that it is so hard to then, like, work on yourself. But I have messaged all those people who are in corporate that please, like, try to look for, try to find time for yourself, try to invest in yourself, try to really see what is the other way. Because if you constantly hold this belief that I cannot do anything, that will become your reality. But if you believe in yourself, you will find the way. Like when I told my husband that I will find the way that I can have it all, I didn't know what the way was, because everybody told me you have to compromise.
Yeah. What do you mean have it all? What does that mean? You can have what?
So have it all, I really mean is that, okay, even if you are a mother and you're working, right? You're working in a company. What I've noticed is that once you start having kids, you have your limitations, right? You have to go back at a certain time. You cannot do extra hours, what is expected in London, especially in corporate London. And you have to really, like, you have to almost balance both the things. So your work doesn't take you very seriously sometimes. They think, oh my God, she's always making excuses. Like, I remember I felt embarrassed because my child was sick. And is it fair that I have to feel embarrassed because my child is not feeling well? But for them, of course, they're running a company. They have to see, right? So they told me to take annual leave, right? And I thought, that is not fair. My child is not well and I'm taking annual leave. But of course, they cannot accommodate, me taking so many holidays. So I thought that because of that, I wouldn't become a CEO. I wouldn't like have a massive quantum leaps in my career, because already they see me as somebody who is limited in her time, right? So I'm actually, even if I continue that job, I'm taking a little bit of backseat, because I will do enough and then I'll leave. But and then at home, I was feeling guilty because all day I wasn't with my kids. I used to come back at 7, 8 o'clock, dead tired. All I wanted to do was sleep. And that's when the kids wanted me. And I felt so guilty. So I felt that I was constantly in that guilt cycle. At work, I was feeling guilty that I'm not with the kids. With kids, I was so tired that I didn't want to spend any time with them. I just wanted to sleep. So it's like you're constantly in that guilt. And I there's a meme about it that at work you have to act that you have no children, and with children you have to act that you have no work. And literally we are constantly putting ourselves down. So I thought, why I'm undermining my own power? What if there is a way that I can have my life my own terms? I can have the freedom I want, but I can still have a thriving career. What if I can be really good at what I do and not spend that many hours? Because as I said before, that earning money is a result of providing service. It's not how many hours you put in the work. It is about providing a service. If you can set up a service while you're asleep and people are benefiting from it, you will get paid for that, right? So we have been told growing up that you have to study and go to school and then get a job, go to work to earn money. You don't have to go to work to earn money. You just have to provide service to other people. So even if you set up a course and people are benefiting from it, you are providing a service. And you don't sometimes even have to be physically there. And especially with internet and these things, you can impact the whole world while sitting in your house or on a beach, So this concept that you have to go to work, you have to work 9 to 5, I think it is embedded in the mindset of masses, and I was one of them, clearly, but the world is way beyond that.
And you have to come all the way from Lahore, Poland, London, and quit on your dreams. Come on.
Because what I felt was that when I was growing up, I was told that having good job in a good company is the ultimate success. When I got there, I realized, no, the world is huge. So I think the beauty of life is that the more you grow, the more your goals grow, and the more you see beyond, what you can see now. And we are here to grow and go on the next step and the next step, because we are constantly seeking for fullest expression. We want to constantly express our talents in the best possible way. So once I will go to the next level, I realize, oh, the world is way bigger. Then my goals will get higher. And that is the beauty of being a human, right? To expand and expand.
That is so beautiful. Why did you choose woman, moms? Why not? Why is the passion just concentrated on women?
So I would love to help everybody, of course, because this mindset and discovering your passion and all these things can help, I think, everybody. So if somebody would come to me, I would never say, no, sorry, I'm not helping. Of course, I would love to help everybody. The only thing is I'm focusing on women is because I have been in their shoes. So I realized that how painful it is to choose between a career and children, especially for those women who worked so hard to get to where they are. And then if they have to make a choice, and sometimes they want to give their kids a good life, right? They want their kids to have all of those things. Like I remember having a conversation with my colleague, and she said to me that I told my kids that if you want to go on holidays, mommy wouldn't be with you. Like mommy has to go to work. And I thought that is a bad choice as a child, that if I want to travel, I have to sacrifice on spending time with my mom because mommy has to go to work to earn money. That is not fair. Like, why can I not, have decent life and my mom with me, whenever I want her? So that is quite close to my heart, because I've been in that shoe. I've realized the pain. So that's why I would be more than happy to help anybody who wants more from life, who want to have the quantum leap, because what I noticed is that whatever you demand from life, it gives to you, but you have to demand it. If you tell yourself a story which is holding you back, then it's you getting in your own way. It's not anybody else's fault,
Wow.
I just want to ask a question about what exactly you made the shift from. So you shifted from corporate life to helping mums, but for the people who maybe haven't got to that stage of imagining what that looks like or how to do that, can you explain what it is you actually do and what you get paid for, basically? Because I think that's what a lot of people will be asking.
So what I've got is I've got a few programs for moms, okay, and anybody else who wants, I'm very open to help other people. I have no, I want everybody to realize that they can have the kind of life they want, and they have the power to create their ideal life. We have given such beautiful, potential within us, and we have just not been made aware that how to use it. And it doesn't have to be hard. It has to be joyful and a good experience, right? Because if you're not enjoying it, what's the point? So what I do is I have two main programs for moms. One is how to become a successful mompreneur. That is the first program. And in that, we really work on the business strategy, so the business side, because what I realized is that when you leave your corporate job and start the business, sometimes you don't have the funds, right? You don't have funds to pay for Facebook ads. It is very limiting. Then how do you start getting leads and prospects by not a hassle, like, sending random DMs to people and trying to hunt people? How can you use strategies to get leads for free and get lots and lots of leads every single day for free without hassle, without spending hours on social media? And at the same time, I strongly believe that it's 95% mindset and 5% strategy. So if you can tap into the power of your mind and the image you hold about yourself, if you can change that, if you can change the way you really see yourself and step into your power, you will become magnetic to your clients. You will become like a power. They would come to you. They will be attracted to your energy. It's like they will feel your fire, and that will lit the fire within them. So it is extremely important to really get the mindset piece right. So I help with that. I help with elevating their self-image and how they can create a business around children in an effortless way, because it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to, because a lot of moms believe that if I'll follow my passion, if I'll follow my dreams, then I will compromise on raising good children. But on it, what I believe, based on my experience, is that if you compromise on your dreams, your children will see you doing that, and your children will do exactly the same. And it happened to me all the time. So when I was working in corporate and I wasn't working on myself, I used to tell my daughter all the time to read books. And she would like, why are you asking me to read books? I don't want to read books. And now when I'm constantly studying, working on myself, taking courses, working with mentors, she loves books. She tries to read my books. She reads her books, and her reading is so good now for her age. Like, everybody gets shocked. What happened? Instead of telling her to do that, I started showing her my example. And I constantly teach them mindsets about beliefs and how they can believe in themselves. So every single day they have this lesson that you can have anything you want. You can do anything you want. So yesterday I was trying to open a jar and I was like, oh my God, I can't open it. And she was like, no, Mom, you can do anything you want. And I was thinking, okay, I have taught her this. So literally, if you believe in yourself, if you go after your dreams, your children will learn from you. Imagine, like, if you think that, okay, I need my dreams to take a backseat, your children will take the same decision. And then it will be really painful for you to see that. But that is what has been programmed into them. That's what they have seen all their life. So if you want them to grow, you have to grow first. And they will see your example. They will learn things from you. I do a lot of affirmations every single day. And the exact same affirmations my 2.5-year-old does. She doesn't know how to talk, but she says, I'm powerful. Today, I was sitting next to her and she's like, Mom, I'm powerful. And I was thinking, okay, you're 2.5, you've just learned how to talk. But this is how powerful these things are, because we are the examples for our kids.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't, how do you, we're winding up now. So what are the key pointers to finding your passion? So how did you find yours? How do you recognize yours?
So one of the tools I would recommend you using to find your passion, which is really powerful, is I will share the tool. But before that, I want to say that I discovered my passion through Passion Test. It's a number one tool used worldwide to discover your passion. And more than 1 million people have used this tool to discover their passion. But and once I did that, I was so blown away. It was so good that I became their consultant, and I wanted to help other people to do that. So if you need like professional assistance, I would love to do that. And it's also included in our programs that we offer. That's the first thing we do, becoming crystal clear on what you want, and not just in your career, but in all aspects of your life. It is super important to know what matters to you, what is meaningful to you, because if you don't worry about that, who else will, right? So for me, it's an act of self-love. If you love yourself, you should see what matters to you. Like, if you buy a gift for somebody, right, you see what would that person like, right? You wouldn't buy something that they would hate. So why would you not choose something for yourself that we would love, right? So the tool, what I was saying was that if you want to do it yourself, then I have a tool which you can use. So take a piece of paper and a pencil and go to your favorite place, okay? And ask yourself this question, that if I've got unlimited money, unlimited time, all the resources that I could ever need, what would my ideal life look like? So not just your career, but where do you see yourself living? Where do you see yourself doing every single day? Who do you spend time with? What kind of activities you do? Every single part of your life. Like, almost draw a beautiful picture with words. But sometimes it's going to happen is that you may not get the answer straight away, because we probably haven't asked this question to ourselves for a long time, that what is it that we love, right? So it may take a few attempts, but trust me, when the answers start coming, you won't be able to stop. This is my guarantee. You won't be able to stop. So ask this question and create that beautiful picture, and then really focus on that picture. Don't worry how it's going to happen, because a lot of times when we start doing that, we think, oh my God, that is not possible. Let's not write that. Don't decide what is possible, what's not, because your definition of possibility is based on your beliefs of the past, right? And you're not creating more of the past. You want a different future. So focus on what you want, Forget about the how will unfold, the how will come once you allow it, right? So really focus on, if you have unlimited of everything, don't limit yourself.
Most times the how is like a stumbling block. We see the how, and we just disconnect from that.
Yeah.
You see the how, no, when we disconnect. So how did you overcome that how hurdle?
So what I learned was that if when I created that image and I started to see myself there, right? Because if you're sitting down, right, the best thing is, as Napoleon Hill said, visualize yourself there first thing in the morning, because at that time your mind is in the daydreaming mode. And that is when it is really receptive to the image you're giving. A lot of people, as soon as they get up, they check their phone. And what happens is that you start to have anxiety and panic. Oh my God, this person is on a holiday. This person is saying this person said this to me. And that is really like put so much pressure on your mind and giving it so much negative information. Start with visualizing how your perfect life looks like now that you have got the clarity by writing it down. And once you do that, then your mind will put your body in action to achieve it. So you will automatically start taking those actions. You will automatically start focusing on those things, because our mind has got this system, it's called reticular activation system. That means that it cannot absorb all the information. So for example, if you see a Facebook page, it's not going to take all the information, and because it's going to burst, like it is too much information for it. So it's only going to focus on what is it that you are focusing on. Okay, so that is almost like a filter, reticular activation system. So once that system is told that this is what I want in my life, it will start focusing on those things. It will not focus on all the other things. So you're almost creating a filter for yourself by visualizing and telling your mind, this is what I want. And once you do that, you also start to attract all the things around you, people, circumstances, situation, opportunities to make that for you. So once you're taking the right actions, because you're conditioning your mind and you're attracting the opportunities, the results will change. So you do not have to worry. You have to let go to the point that you're not worrying that when it's going to happen. No, for you, in your imagination, it's done. So start living like it's done, because you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. That's what Napoleon Hill says. That's how powerful our mind is.
Wow. Any question, guys?
Yeah, I was just thinking about two issues, really. So the first issue, I'm thinking about mental health, because I think sometimes people, that we hear this term about mental health crisis. We hear it a lot here in the UK. Do you think mental health, or the degeneration of so many people's mental health, is connected to this thing of not living their passion? That's my first question. And then following on from that, I guess I would say, for people who are so low and have hit rock bottom, are really struggling just to get up in the morning, where can they start getting their life on track? For example, like you mentioned earlier, you got some redundancy pay. And I know when I made the jump from my teaching job to working freelance and stuff, I also had money in it. But I've spoken to a lot of people who said they haven't got that. And the lack of resources, financial resources, but also social resources. Some people have no husbands, they have no family, they have nobody, and everything is an uphill battle. Every transition is an uphill battle. So where can those kind of people begin to get from where they are to what you're describing? What have you got any pointers for them?
Yeah. So first question, actually, I have got my own example when it comes to mental health, and I've experienced it personally. So I'm just sharing my personal example, what I've seen both the sides. So when my second son was born, I started to believe that I'm not a good mother for some reason. I started to feel that I'm not giving him enough time. Mom guilt took me to that point that I had mental health issues and I wanted to kill myself. And I was working in corporate at that time. So there was no money issue, just pure mental health issue that I'm not a good mom. And I told, so there's a organization in UK, ICOP. So I called a helpline, and I said that I really want to kill myself. And because I had 2 young kids, they prioritized me to get the mental health help, because if I kill myself, then what's going to happen to 2 kids, right? So I was top on the list. I started seeing counselor. It was extremely helpful. She gave me tools to cope up. Okay. She gave me tools to really fix the things I was feeling. But when I started working on myself, what I realized was that the tools I got were almost like a band-aid. Like, if you get a wound, they put the band-aid and stop the blood. And now you can live, you can survive. So I was surviving. But when I started working on myself, oh my God, like I felt that there was a huge, storm in me of passion, of doing things, of becoming the best version of myself, of creating an impact. And I was dimming it down and I was compressing it. And that was coming out in mental health problems. But of course, I wasn't able to see it. So I feel that counseling and these things are really important. But if you really want to tap into your power, if you want to live every day 10 out of 10, if you want to feel the fire, literally, I felt that I was almost holding that storm within me, which wanted to come out, express, create the impact, make this world a better place, show my energy, like really celebrate myself. I was stopping it. I was keeping a wall on it. And when I was in counseling, they dealt with my issues that I didn't kill myself and I was feeling okay. But when I tapped into who I really was, studying myself, what matters to me, really going deeper within me, oh my God, like it is another world. Like I literally feel like I'm in another world. So I strongly suggest that, although, of course, if you have mental health issues, it's worth getting the counseling and, seek the right help. But if you really want to live like 10 out of 10, you want to feel the fire, start discovering yourself. Once you discover yourself, you'll fall in love with yourself. And then everything outside will rearrange itself accordingly. And you will get up excited every single day. You will feel fully motivated, high energy, excited, the thrill every single day. And I see that as a mother, especially when I am like that, I see my kids doing that. When I was struggling, anxious, I wasn't able to even look after my kids. And when I used to look after them, they could sense my anxiety. They could sense those things. And now what this senses my passion, my happiness, my excitement. And they are always excited. They're always happy because they can see that their mother is so happy. So I cannot stress enough how important it is to study yourself, to reconnect within, to go within and discover who you really are. Because we are trying to find everything else in the world except finding who we are. And that is where the real answer is. And the second question, the second question you talked about is like the people who have got to really low in their life. I would highly recommend that get a coach, get help. Because the thing is that once you start to get rock bottom, it is really like, I was talking to one of the ladies like in one of the lives, and she said to me, and I said to her that, you have to, like, it's about thinking positive. Because once you start thinking negative, if you have a negative thought, okay, then you feel negative and then you attract more negative. So it's like you attract one, it becomes millions. That's how it multiplies. You attract more and more and more. So if you are literally at the lowest of the low, get somebody who can take you out. And it's not gonna happen by watching a motivational video, by like just doing little bits. You need almost like a reconstructive surgery, like a transformation. And even books and these things cannot transform. Like you need somebody to hold your hand and take you out of it. And once you're out of it, once you land into your power, you just attract more of all the beauty. Like I literally think that, where was all this beauty before? Where was the world different, or I changed myself? And it's literally, I think I've changed myself. This is all it comes out. Your whole world changes.
Because the beauty is always there.
Yeah. It's like, I give one of the examples that, can you see a yellow color in your room right now? Anywhere in your room? It was always there, right? But until you noticed it, until you give it focus and attention, you didn't see it. So it's always there. You need to focus on it. You need to give it your attention.
Wow. Okay, we're going to the hour mark now. So I wanted this to be less than an hour before. But you see, when we have this kind of conversation, we just keep flowing, and time does not matter anymore. We're just present here. And yeah. Carla, Hala, any last questions before we just round up?
Yeah, I just would like to thank her for sharing her story. I think it's going to be inspired also for single moms, um, and also I think that her drive and her ambition led her to where she is now. And I think believing in the process is important than believing the end result. So yeah, we learned a lot from this 1 hour session.
Thank you so much.
And I suppose my follow-up to that will be, where can people find out more about you? And if they want help, for people who maybe haven't got a cheerleader, maybe haven't got a support system, where can they get in touch with you and start that process in their life?
So I have got my Facebook profile where I do every single day. I come on live and I do a show called Moms on Fire, where I inspire mom and teach mom how they can have it all. So I think, Victor, you've got the link to it if you could share. And also I offer a free discovery call to really see where you are in your life and where you want to go. And it is absolutely free. I really want to help. So I'm doing it for a very short period of time because, there are only enough hours in a day. So I give this 45-minute session, and I think, Victor, you've got the link for that. Do you want me? Yeah. So I will share, we'll share both the links, and please, I cannot stress enough that prioritize yourself in your own life. Be a star of your own movie. It is so important, because once you step into your power, you can help the world. Otherwise, you cannot. No matter how kind you are, how nice you are, you have to fill your cup first before giving it to other people and your family.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. And this episode was on fire, not just the moms, that's on fire as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us. We are so grateful for having you. And Carla, I just want to introduce the podcast before we go. We usually do this before we round up.
Yes, so my podcast is Women Stars Podcast. It's under construction at the moment, but tune in for new look for the podcast next season. Over to you, Carla.
My podcast is the Wonder and Wellbeing Podcast, which is all about education and wellbeing.
All right. And you can find all podcasts on Apple iTunes, Spotify, all the major places. There you can also find the Diaspora Entrepreneurs Podcast. And from me and our special guest today, Anum Hayat, go check her out. Moms on Fire. Just type it on Facebook. You'll see Moms on Fire. She runs her show every day. So if you need that someone to pull you out, click on our link and you get a 45 minutes pulling out section, right?
Yeah. So if you could share the link for the thing, do you want me to send you again, or you have got it?
I have it.
Yeah. And also that Moms on Fire is on my profile. So once they see my profile on Facebook, they can see I do it every single day at 6 p.m. British time. So if you want to share the link to my profile, that'd be really good. My full name is Anum Hayat, so they can search as well.
Yeah, and you are so we are so grateful for having you today, for agreeing to come on short notice. Thank you very much. You wanted to
It's an honor,
but you just find it to be here today. We are so happy for that. Thank you very much, and for sharing your time with us today. So guys, if you want this conversation to continue, go ahead on the chat and we just follow up with the conversation. We are talking about how to find your passion. Wherever your scars are, you can turn them to your stars. Is that not the quote?
Superpower. Yeah.
Yes, you can turn them to superpower. Yes. So guys, until next week, same time, 7 p.m. UK time, and is it 8 p.m. French time also, Anna?
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Well, now it's Turkish time, but
oh, you're in Turkey right now. Okay, whatever time in Turkey, but next same time, 7 p.m. British Standard Time. You'll find us on here, Facebook and YouTube. So guys, bye for now.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.